Just keep your eyes closed. Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhante Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyam. So, I hope that you have read through those 10 verses again. And the most important part of it is that you see the meaning of those descriptions. That is because when the teacher teaches, when he speaks and you listen, that time, as you are listening to the subject, naturally the focus is not on the words but on the meaning. Now, teaching therefore becomes like a louder contemplation, where the teacher speaks. If the teacher knows what he speaks, then his speech is true to his thought, and the thought is true to his understanding. If the teacher has got by heart certain information, certain ideas, trained to think in a particular way, and therefore he is thinking that will not have the touch of the absolute. It will be more a scholastic, information-oriented teaching. But when the person sees the truth of it, knows it, so his thought has the touch of the absolute, because it comes from the depth of his understanding. And when those thoughts are there at the thought level, no student can see it. So for the teacher, the contemplation is effortless, because being with himself is effortless, and all the words that come from that understanding also very effortless. But as long as it is there in the thought level, no student can ever appreciate it. Naturally, it has to be spoken. So when it is spoken, that is the time it is listened to. So Sravana, you listen to the Shastra through the teacher. When the student is listening, that words create a thought, and the thought is supposed to convey the meaning. So thus you can see the cycle is complete. From the understanding of the teacher comes the thoughts become speech, the speech becomes thoughts in the mind of the student, and the thought conveys what it means. Thus the cycle is complete. So when listening to these words, if you call it Sravana, when the student goes back and there is no teacher teaching anymore, but he closes the eyes, sits down, listens to those thoughts, That is manana. Because there is nothing listened to now. At this moment, there is no live listening. The student is not listening anything. He has already heard this knowledge, heard about it. But now when he sits down there, brings back the memory. That is where comes your contemplation. You bring it back to yourself. So when you are bringing it back, ask the question, can you bring it back? That is the problem. Because what comes back is not what you have heard. The teacher says you are Brahman, absolute truth. That doesn't come back. But while attending the class or coming out of the class or going before the class, somebody says, you are useless, you are stupid, you did this. That goes on haunting your mind. "20 years back, somebody had told you something. 5 years back, somebody had done something." Those things come back to the mind. That is where consciously you do the contemplation. That is why chanting these verses. Jati niti gula gotra duragam. Continuously. You are chanting it. Janma bruddhi parinatya pakshaya vyadhinasana vihinam abhyayam. Any verses, you pick it up. Your mind dwells on it. When these thoughts come up and you are seeing the message behind these thoughts, that it has its root in the awareness truth that you are. And that time, there are no more words, because for the teacher who spoke, the words began from the realm of silence. For the student, the words end in the realm of silence. That is where the circle is complete. For the student, for the teacher, when the words or the thoughts emerge from the land of silence, consciousness that he is, for the student, the words become thoughts, and the thoughts are resolved in the land of consciousness, where there is no words whatsoever. The circle is complete. That is why it is so important that you think, and see beyond the words. Not just to be familiar with the words or the familiar with the thoughts, but being with yourself, so that all the thoughts, all the words become very meaningful. You are in meditation at all times, all places, all situations, and like you are as visible, as he says, as visible as the Rajavat, Sanye, Sanghe, like a king stands out conspicuously in the massive assemblage of the army, so also that conspicuous you are in the realm of thoughts. Always you are with yourself. So read that verse. We shall continue. Please read. "265 Sambodhamatram parishuddhatattvam Vijnaya Sanghe Nrupavaccha Sainye Tadasrayasvatmani sarvadasthite Vilapaya Brahmani Vishwajatam Buddho Guhayam Sadasadvilakshanam Brahmasti Satyam Paramadvitiyam Tadatmanayotra Vased Guhayam Punarnatasyanga Guha Pravesha buddho guhayam sadasadu vilakshanam brahmasti satyam paramadvitiyam tadatmanayotra vased guhayam punarnatasyanga gruha guha pravesha. Right. So thus, by continuous contemplation, tat kathanam, tat chintanam, anyonyatat prabodhanam, the language that they use is tat kathanam, speaking about it. Tat chintanam, thinking about it. Anyonyatat prabodhanam, mutually discussing it. That is how the days of a antevasi, the days of a brahmachari, the days of a person who engages himself in the studies are spent. Tat kathanam, talking about it. Tat chintanam, thinking about it. Anyonyatat prabodhanam, mutually discussing those things. That is where, when you do that, the truth becomes as clear as karambuvat. Karatala amalagavat. Ambu is water. As if there is water in your palm and you cannot lose sight of it, that clear becomes the vision of yourself. By continuous contemplation, you cannot lose sight of it. Karatala amalaga, like a gooseberry on your hand, meaning anything on your hand, as even you cannot lose sight, that conspicuous, that clear becomes the insight about yourself as to who you are. So ask this question therefore, which is effortless for you? Is it yourself the effortless, or it is thoughts of many kinds? Ask yourself. Is it possible for you to remember yourself all the time while acting out the roles of various kinds in life, through various thoughts, while acting in various level? Are you always being conscious? Are you being aware of yourself all times, all places, all conditions? If you do that, he says, you shall be like a king in the army, absolutely under control. And the next one, verses he say that, the next line he says, where shall I see this? Buddho guhayam sadasad vilakshanam brahmasti satyam buddho guhayam. In this cave, it gives a beautiful example. In the cave of the intellect, buddho, in the intelligence, intellect, guhayam, in the cave of intellect. What is this cave of intellect? As though between the thoughts, if the thought is a mountain, or between the thought covers, there is consciousness. It's a very nice way of revealing the truth, that how yourself, the consciousness, is always present. In the Kenopanishad it will come. Pratibodha viditam matam bodham prati. Thought by thought, in every thought, between the thoughts, the consciousness is existing. Please see that. Take that example and see for yourself. Thought by thought, between the thought, in between the thought, before the thought, after the thought, consciousness is there. Take that idea and work on it. Just take an example. Now listen to. Whether I am speaking or the bird is singing. The breeze. Whenever there is a sound, by habit we say we are listening to the sound. But in reality, before the sound begins, there is silence. After the sound, silence. While speaking the words, in between the words, So before, after, in between. Therefore, naturally, in and through. The words, there is silence. But ask yourself question, how many of us remember to recognize the silence while listening to the words? 4 or 5 people sitting down, talking, joking, laughing. How many of them are conscious of silence? Are you getting that point, please? As you see, if you see this simple thing outside, you develop that capacity to recognize the subtle thing within. Because if outside 4 people are talking and you are losing sight of silence, inside only one person is thinking, but you are thinking 1,000 thoughts. And so many, it's like each thought is a person. The thoughts are coming up so continuously, such intensity, such speed, that the person cannot believe that there is a stillness, space of consciousness. Before the sound, after the sound, silence. This cock is crowing. Before, after. Where is the sound now? If I don't speak, but we shall be continuously waiting for sound, right? Tell me, are you waiting for my speech or are you waiting for my silence? You wait for my speech. What Swami is going to speak? You are waiting for my speech. You are so much waiting for the speech that you don't enjoy the silence. Are you getting that? How habitual it is? Do you understand that? While waiting for the speech, you don't enjoy the stillness. When is he going to speak? When is he going to speak? While waiting for the speech, now can you wait for silence? Can you wait for silence or you can wait in silence? Do you understand that language? You cannot wait for silence. You can wait for speech. You can wait for speech. But can you wait for silence? You can wait in silence. Are you getting that subtlety? Do you understand the subtlety? Already in silence, you are waiting. For what? Can you believe this? Already in silence, you are waiting. Of course, nobody says he is waiting for silence, but you are waiting. Waiting for what? Speech. Now, exactly the same way, you can wait for a thought. Listen, you can wait for the I, the thinker, can wait for a thought. Can he wait for consciousness? Or the waiting is in consciousness? Are you getting that point? Waiting is a feeling. Silence doesn't wait for anybody. You are waiting for silence. Consciousness doesn't wait for anybody. The individuality is waiting for consciousness. Are you getting that point? Do you understand what I am talking? Silence doesn't wait for anybody. The listener waiting for the sound, the listener waiting for silence. Same way, consciousness doesn't wait for anybody. The thinker, the I, waiting for a thought. Oh, the thought is not coming. Oh, how can I miss it? Huh? And so much lost in the thought is waiting for consciousness. Is very much waiting for consciousness. Are you getting that? And when people try to remove the thought, it's like a meaningless activity. Is it necessary, listen carefully, is it necessary to remove something when it is self-dismissing? Should you attempt that the truck should stop producing noise? Just wait. It's going. It's only on the move. Is it necessary to go and kill that chicken? Why is he producing the sound? Where is the noise now? When something is self-dismissing, you don't have to negate it. When the thought is self-dismissing, why are you pushing the thought? When you push the thought, that gains power. Are you getting that? The more you are afraid and you are pushing the thought, that time it becomes more powerful. In reality, thought has no power. Do you get that point? In reality, thought has no power. The thought is not a conscious entity to deliberately come back to haunt you. Does a thought haunt you, or you feel haunted by the thought? No thought haunts you. You feel haunted. Why this thought is coming? Who is complaining? Why the thought is coming? That idea kills you more. Why the thought is coming? This is the individual. Why the questioning why the thought is coming? It will never question why am I reacting? That language it has not learnt. Why the thought is coming? So so sincere. I don't want these thoughts to come. Who are you? Who are you? It's like telling, why this chicken is crowing? Eh? What? If the chicken don't do that, who else will do it? Monkey will call like that? Why is it shout? Why? That is what chicken is. Understand? But by habit, the I will never question itself. That is why your conscious contemplation. You will never say, why these thoughts are keeping coming up? Listen, you will always complain, why these thoughts are coming up? You will never say, why am I not consciously chanting these verses? Why don't you ask yourself? When the thoughts are coming, let the thoughts come up. You are more worried why these thoughts are coming, but you are not taking responsibility. Why am I not initiating more and more thoughts about myself? Have you taken the responsibility? Why am I not thinking these thoughts? Swamiji, whenever I sit down, these thoughts are coming. So you are waiting for some thoughts to come. What about why are you not? Now I have got the 10 verses at my disposal. Why am I not thinking like these things? Never the person questions. This is where comes your stupidity. That is why people in the name of religion wait for divine intervention. God will do it. Guru will do it. Somebody will do it. I don't have to do anything. No. As they say, if you are hungry, nobody can eat for you. In Oriya they say, Nije namale swarga dekhivani. Unless you die, you won't see heaven. In a sense, if you want to experience it, you better see it. There is no question of your Guru doing it for you, or God doing it for you, or somebody doing it for you. You have to do it for yourself. That questioning continuously. So before the thought, after the thought, you are. In between the thought, you are. So there he gives a language of this buddhi guha. Between the thoughts, in this consciousness is there. In the cave of the intellect. That is where people become, unconsciously develop cave mentality. Most people don't go to the original text. So somebody picks it up. Then he says, you must get into the cave of the intellect. So suddenly intellect is forgotten, people are ending up in caves. Like you see the light of consciousness, they forget the consciousness, then looking at the light throughout the life. We go and looking at the wall and look at the light. What are you doing it for? Headache. No, it ends up. Of course you can use a light also. If you can use anything for a contemplation, why not light? Why not anything? No problem. But when you say, people become cave mentality. Cave mentality is going into the cave and disturbing the wild animal there. Why are you disturbing the jackal from his cave? You stay under a tree. Very nice, no problem. Ultimately, go into the cave of the intellect, meaning before thought, after thought, in between the thought, whatever is there, that buddhi guayam, which is sadasad vilakshanam. Other than this sat and asat, yes, sat is, thought is not. Understand? Thought is not. Listen carefully. Sound is not. Okay? Understand? Sound is, it's like a joke. If you don't understand, ask, okay? You better grasp it. A sound is not. Can you speak the same language about silence? Is it necessary to silence is not? The words are redundant there. That sat asat vilakshanam. It is beyond is and is not. Beautiful language. This is like a language, which Jains people will say Satori. Million contradictions. You don't have to one contradiction and make a enlightenmenting speech. Every statement is a contradiction. Your mind gets boom, it goes crazy. Because before you know what it is, you thought this is what it is, knocks it out. It is sadasad vilakshanam. It is other than that which is and is not. Sound is. The sound is not. Can you speak the same language but silence? To say silence is it necessary to speak? Can you say silence is not? When you say silence is not, you are really, when you are speaking, as though you are knocking it. But in reality, there, always there. Silence is beyond is and is, the existence, presence and the absence of the sound, like the space. The tree is not. The house is demolished. But can you say consciousness is and consciousness demolished? Huh? I'm sorry, the space is and space is demolished. The house is and the house is demolished. The tree is and the tree is caught. Can you say space is? Is it necessary the space is? To see. If it is not, you say space is. Suppose something is always there. What is the idea of telling space is? Space is the isness. Are you getting that? Space is isness. Because tree now occupying the space. But space occupies what? Itself. So tree is in space. And the tree also doesn't exist in space. So the space is beyond is and is not of the tree. Are you getting that point? The house is and the house is demolished. But is it necessary the space is? One day, you understand the mullah was sitting down and throwing some stones here and there. Simply sitting. Some people when they sit down they can't keep quiet. Pluck the grass, pluck the leaf. Something or other they will be doing it. If they go to a movie theater, there is a little hole in the chair, they will start taking out the sponge. By the time they come out, half sponge is gone. There are some people. And like they will be sitting near in the carpet, one thread has come out. So finished. While sitting down, they are listening, but the thread will be continuously being pulled. Because their finger talks. By the time it goes, so much of thread has come out. Some people are restless. The mullah also is taking the stone and throwing it. Then somebody looked at it, it's a meaningless activity. He said, Mullah, what are you doing? He said, why? I'm keeping the tigers away. What? Keeping the tigers away? Where are the tigers in this residential locality? Where are the tigers? Mullah said, is it not effective? This is known as meaningless activity. There are no tigers. What is your idea of throwing stones? Right? So meaningless activity is also like that. If you don't understand this, dealing with the thoughts, the body, creation, it's all meaningless activity. Why? I'm keeping the consciousness, I'm bringing in the consciousness. But when is it away? Always existing. So most of the time, that is why your very meaningful activity, when it becomes meaningless, you have understood the truth. Teaching is a very meaningful activity, but that also becomes useless. What is there to think about it? What is there to talk about it? It's always existing. Sadasat vilakshanam. It is beyond all that is and is not. Thought is not myself. Iti, one who sees tadatmana yotra vased guhayam. Tadatmana, sadatmana, that which is ever existing, that consciousness, I am. Iti, yo vased, one who abides there all the time in this buddhi, in himself. Punarnatasyanga guha pravesha. No more he enters into the cave of the body. Meaning, no more mother's womb, no more rebirth. There is no question of he being born again. The person always remains with himself. So, abide in that oneness. Okay, after saying this, now the next chapter begins. Read, we shall start it. Jnate vastuni api valavati vasananadiresa karta bhoktapi ahamiti drudha yasya samsara hetuhu pratyagdrushtyatmani nivasata sapaneya prayatnat muktim prahutadiha munayah vasanatanavam yat jnate vastuni api valavati vasananadiresa karta bhoktapi ahamiti drudha yasya sansara hetuhu pratyagadrushtya atmani nivasata sapaneya prayatnat muktim prahutadiha munayah vasanatanavam yat. Now comes very human topic. So far, the knowledge emphasized understanding about one's own self, how the truth is absolute, effortless, infinity, now and here, that is one's own self. Now the question comes. Some people will question, very nice to hear, but even after listening such a long time, why is it so difficult? Sometimes it is clear, not that it is not clear. Sometimes it is clear. I see it very clearly. But suddenly, like a cloud, it comes. The whole thing is forgotten. I, the embodiment of compassion, suddenly absolute embodiment of agitation. I was so kind, so nice. Now I am trembling with anger, trembling with hatred, jealousy, passion. What happens? Why does it so happen? Because I understand, not that I don't understand. There is a clear sky of consciousness. Suddenly there is a overcast. Huge cloud comes in. You have seen such contradiction in people. The same person who behaves so nicely, sensitively, very conscious, very sensitive, very nice, kind, compassionate. But suddenly the fellow is jumping, trembling with anger, trembling with hatred. Whole body is shaking, face is flushed. You can't even, relate. Who is this? Is this exactly as they say in English? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. The two different personalities as though. When the fellow is talking, woof. And when he is fighting, the same person. How does it happen? Why is it so difficult? He gives you explanation. Jnate vastuni api. Vastuni jnate pi vastu atma vastu. Atma vastu must be known. Atma is the vastu. Okay? Vastu means that is yourself. Two words I shall use. Please understand. Jnana and karma. Okay, two things. Most of you also have written down in the note. I think Vishwa must have told about it. Very good. Vastu, there are two words you take. Jnana and karma. Jnana vastu tantra. Karma purusha tantra. These two things must be very clearly understood in this context. Now I shall make it very clear as to why people find it difficult to be with themselves. Clearly perceive this, understand this. Two things. One is jnana, knowledge. Another is karma, action. Okay. Action, karma, purusha tantra depends on the individual. Karma depends on the individual. Why? Like suppose you are here and you want to go to main temple, Tiruvannamalai temple. You are in our ashram, Suddhananda ashram here, and you want to go to temple. When you go to temple, there is a distance. There is a distance between where you want or where you want to be. When there is a distance, it must be covered. You have to do that. Some action is needed. Okay? Some action is needed to cover the distance. And this action, who should do? You. Action is dependent on you. Since it is dependent on you, you have a choice. Kartum sakyam, akartum sakyam, anyatha akartum sakyam. You can do it. You need not do it. Or you can do it as you like. You can go. Or you say, I'm not going. I don't want to go. Or I'll go, but everybody is telling go walking, pradakshina, auto, in a car. So, because there is an action, there is a choice. Okay? Listen carefully. In action, there is choice. That is why all activities, you can study, need not study, study whatever you want. You can eat, need not eat, eat whatever you wish. You can take a job, need not take a job, do whatever you like. You can marry, you need not marry, you can live together without marrying. You can live with a dog, you can live with a man, you can live with a monkey, You can take a plane, you can take 747, you can take Airbus, you can take, ordinary. Or you can say, no, I don't do that, I want to go solo navigating around the world. Alright, do. Everywhere, understand, in action there is a huge choice. In action there is a choice. That is why people get confused. What shall I do? Why? There are so many ways. Are you getting that point? There are so many ways. What shall I do? How to go? What to do? Hundreds of ways. Eating, listening to a sound or a touching, tasting, smelling, seeing, experiencing, anything. It's all actions. Therefore, millions of choice you have. Are you getting that point, please? Whereas, what you are looking is yourself. If you are here, you want to go to main temple, there is a distance, you have choices. Where you are, suppose where you want to be. You are in ashram. If you want, understand, you are standing on the ashram. If you want to be in the ashram, that itself shows you are ignorant. Okay? Ignorant. So, ignorant means what? You should have the knowledge. The knowledge is not dependent upon the individual. Knowledge is dependent upon the object. Are you getting that? Like, take an example. Understand. No knowledge is dependent upon the individual. Knowledge is dependent on the object. Like, simple example you take. What is this? A hibiscus. Hibiscus, okay. Now suppose I ask you, do you know hibiscus? You say, no, I don't know it. Now if you have to know it, do you have a choice? Can you say, Jnantum sakyam, Ajnatum sakyam, Anyathava jnatum sakyam. Like kartum sakyam, Akartum sakyam, Anyathava kartum. I can do, I can walk, I need not walk, or I can do whatever I want. Okay? Can you say the same thing? I can know it as a hibiscus, I need not know it as a hibiscus, or I can know it as a mango. Can you say that? You have no choice, because jnana vastu tantra. Knowledge is dependent on the object. Are you getting that point, please? Please appreciate this. You shall understand the entire problem of the mankind. We will relate to it. You will see. The knowledge is not dependent on the individual. You cannot say, I know it as a dog, I need not know it as a dog, or I can know the dog as a tiger. No. If it is a dog, it must be known as a dog. Because Vastu Tantra. If it is a hibiscus, it must be known as a hibiscus and nothing else. Okay? Because there is no choice for you. Now, this is where comes the fundamental appreciation of this solution of this problem, this knowledge. To solve the problem of this creation, to solve the problem of the human existence, what should you know? Should you know about the world, or you should know about yourself? Can you settle that matter first? To have a nice life, should you understand about yourself or about the world? Which one comes first? Priority. We need both the knowledge. If the man is mad, what type of way he can live with the world? What is the way he can handle the world? He is insane. A person who doesn't know anything about himself, can he live in this world? The person must know about himself. Now when you know about yourself, can you say, I can know myself, I need not know myself, or I can know as I like? And this is what the whole mankind has got himself into. I can know myself as I want. So sometimes I'm an engineer, sometimes a father, sometimes a mother, sometimes a doctor, sometimes a professional, sometimes rich, sometimes poor, sometimes believer, sometimes non-believer, sometimes meditator, sometimes singer, sometimes agitated. You understand now what is the problem? Instead of knowing about, you cannot, are you getting that point? You cannot say, I can know myself, I need not know myself, and I can know myself as I am like. Okay, because of that only you are in a mess. Do you understand the point now? Why the world is in a mess? And the new age religions destroy you further. All these new age religions as well as the theologies which tells you not about yourself but as you give you a new role. Because instead of helping me to know exactly who I am, they are using the third possibility. I can know myself, I need not know myself, or I can know myself as I like. So I know, I don't know, that possibilities are gone. They give you another identity. You are already in a mess. Already in a mess. I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm rich or poor, educated, uneducated. That mess you are already in. Now another little mess is added. One meditator and the follower of this religion, follower of that man, follower of this practice, or I don't follow anything. What are you doing? Are you getting that point, please? It is adding to the mess. In knowledge, there is no choice. I must know myself as I am. Why? Vastutantratvat. Knowledge depends on the object. Atma vastu. Atma, yourself, the consciousness, must be known as it is, not. You can't have a choice. I can know, I need not know, or I can know myself as I feel like. If you take yourself what you feel like or what somebody imposes yourself to, you get into the mess. Just like action. Why people are confused in the world of action where there are a million choices? Shall I do this or shall I do that? Shall I have this or shall I have that? Shall I marry or shall I remain alone? Shall I live with somebody or divorce from somebody? Shall I get the job or shall I not get the job? Shall I eat or shall I not eat? Shall I talk to somebody? Shall I not? You understand? The whole life is a mess around only this type of statement. What else is your confusion? Ask the average person. Ask any average person. What is his confusion? I don't know whether I shall take this job or not. Shall I build a house or shall I build not the house there? I don't know what happens. Now the prices are going up. Okay. I don't know, shall I send my child abroad or shall I not send him? If I send him, suppose he, God knows what happens to her or what happens to him. Right. Shall I take this medicine or shall I not take this medicine? Shall I eat this? You understand? You understand? These are the facts of life. Don't sit down there and imagine, I'm Brahman absolute. Don't do that. This is the mess. Because action means there are choices. And people don't know how to make the right choice. And why do you want to make that choice? So that I can be happy. And where is the happiness? In myself. So shall I know myself? For to be happy, shall I know myself or shall I do some action? I must know myself. And when I must know myself, shall I know myself as I am or as I... Is there any choice? I must know myself as I am. Because it depends on the vastu. That is why self-knowledge. Atma jnana. Whole Upanishads, Atma labha param vidyate. There is nothing greater gain than the Atma labha, knowledge of one's own self. Atmanyeva santushta, person contented with himself. Tasya karyam na vidyate. There is nothing to be done by him. So many ways, Nahi jnanena sadrusha pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing more sacred and sanctified than the knowledge. Jnanadihi kaivalyam. Only by knowledge you get the liberation, freedom. Jnanadihi kaivalyam. Jnana Agni Sarva Karmani Bhasmasat Kurute Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, Jnana Agni, the fire of knowledge, Sarva Karmani Bhasmasat Kurute, burns all action. And the result, karma and the karma phala. How much the knowledge is highlighted. It is not a fanaticism about knowledge. You must understand the beauty of this knowledge. So when in the knowledge of yourself, there is no action needed. To know yourself, what should you do? To know yourself, what should you do? To know this flower, listen carefully. To know this flower, what should you do? I must walk. The walking is not for flower. Walking is to reach a place where the flower is. Listen carefully. Walking is to reach a place where the flower is. But walking has nothing to do with the seeing the flower. After you reach the distance, why? Because the flower is not everywhere. So flower is here. So you walk. But to see the flower, should you walk or should you open your eyes? To see the flower, should you walk? Around the tree you are walking. Why? Pradakshina. Right? No, I am chanting. Oh, flower, 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 flower. Right? What are you doing? No, I am standing on my head so that the flower descends on me. Huh? I am just hugging the tree. You close your eye, I am hugging the tree. Why? I can feel the flower. Are you nuts? 200 times I am changing my breathing from left to right, right to left. All these actions will not give you the knowledge of the flower. Are you getting that point? Walking can bring you to the tree. But to see the flower, you must open the eyes. Listen carefully. Why must I walk? Because the flower is not everywhere. Acha. Yourself. Where is yourself? Where is it existing? Wherever you are. Is it necessary to take a walk to Brahman? Is it necessary to take a walk in space? Is it necessary to wait in time? What are you doing? Waiting for the auspicious moment for the Brahman to rise. Where are you going? Waiting for going for the holy space. Why? Brahman concentrated appearing there. Are you getting that point? Are you getting that point, please? Is there any time when the consciousness is existing only? A particular time or a particular place? No. Desha kala visayati vartiyate. Desha kala aditya vartate. Existing at all times, all places. Therefore, what physical action you should do? What physical action you should do to know yourself? Nothing. Body is physic. Bodily action is physical action. So physic, understand, body is there, enough. Physical action is not needed for Brahman, for knowing yourself. Are you getting that point? You close your eyes. You don't have to even open your eyes. Sense organs also not functioning. Not necessary to function because sense organ can give me the knowledge of particular object. Like ears can give me the knowledge of the sound. Eyes can give me the form. Nose can give me the form, smell. Ears can give me the touch. And ears can sound. Skin can give the touch. Tongue can give the taste. But whereas who I am is not a sound. Ears are redundant. Who I am is not a touch. Skin is redundant. Who I am is not a sight. Eyes are redundant. Who I am is not a smell. Nose is redundant. Who I am is not a taste. Tongue is redundant. This is where comes Shabda Pramana. The words become the means of knowledge. Words will reveal, just like 10th man, remember. Words reveal the truth. Words do not produce the truth. So tattvamasi bhatmani bhavaya. When the Shastra says tattvamasi, after revealing all these things you are not, the upadhis, not this world, not this body, not these thoughts, not the perceptions, I thought. Words reveal. So, this is Jnanam. Shabda is the means of knowledge. By using which? Pramana, you are aware of yourself. Okay? Nothing. The simplest thing. No other thought is needed. No action of any kind. But imagine, so far, how many actions you have done? Only actions, no? Sound, touch, taste, smell, sight, informations, all kind, do this, don't do this, do. What are do's are lot, but what don't do also, there's a much more strong conditioning. What you do, what thou shalt do, understand, what you should do is few. What you should not do is, what a list. And everybody knows the do list, nobody remembers. Do not list, everybody remembers. That is why full of guilt. Just like in a dieting, everybody tells you what not to eat. You are in such a trouble, isn't it true? In dieting, everybody, don't eat alcohol, don't eat bread, don't eat rice, don't eat carbohydrate, don't eat protein, don't eat this. All right, I've heard enough. What shall I eat? Because the language, by the time you said don't do it, there's nothing left out to eat. Now what am I supposed to eat? Give me a list what I should eat. Because what don't is gone. Now say, don't see this, don't hear this, don't touch this, don't smell this, don't taste this. All right, then what am I here for? Then say, you want me to bury myself, dig a hole and get in? Full of, are you getting that? Full of do's and don'ts. And who is going to follow this? I. But nobody tells me who I am. They give me instructions. It's like giving instructions to the drunkard without letting him know who is he. The fellow is inebriated. Are you getting that? The fellow is drunk, totally lost. He is under the spell of an addiction, alcoholism, completely lost, insane, totally insane, doesn't know anything about himself. But he has been told what all things to do and not to do. What do you think he can do? You understand the importance. The day the world understands the importance of self-knowledge, that itself will be the greatest day. As to why it should be known. That is why, long before when you engage yourself in this pursuit of self-knowledge, already so many action. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, to be happy and all this. Therefore he says, Jnate vastuni api. Very nicely. So even though now you come to know about this, you seem to know about these things, what happens? Balavati vasananadi resha karta bhokta hamiti dudhayasya sansara hetu. Jnate vastuni, even though you appreciate the who are you, Balavati vasana, impressions, vasanas are very strong. What is this vasana? Listen carefully. That word you must clearly appreciate. Don't make an enemy out of that word vasana. Oh, I am full of vasana, I don't know what to do. Hurry. Vasana should be understood. Vasana means what? Vasana nama bhogajanya samskara hai. Write down. Vasana nama Bhogajanya samskara. Vasana is Bhogajanya samskara. Impressions, samskara, impressions left behind by the experience. Bhogajanya samskara. The samskara impressions, Bhogajanya, which is born of bhoga, enjoying, experiencing, indulging, coming in touch with the object. Okay. So this is vasana. So vasana is what? Just an impression. Okay? Vasana is an impression. Like you can see, when you listen to a sound, music, that music leaves behind a sensation. Ah, it's lovely. That is why suppose somebody asks, what do you want to hear? Like in radio. Sunne walon ke pasand. The listener's choice. When I listen listener's choice, what do they ask for? Unknown songs. Huh? Listener choice means whatever you have heard and you liked. Can you sing that again? Listener's choice. Repeat that song again and again. Other day I was traveling in a car, and the driver asked me, Swamiji, can we put on some music? I said, why not? Yeah, poor thing. He puts the music, he can drive nicely. This is not for us, our need. If he feels comfortable, okay, put on, don't put loud, but put on. And he puts on the music. The music, first song was over. Second song, same one. I said, okay. Third one, same one. Then after fourth one, I said, what is this cassette? The same thing seems to be going on. Yes, Aya, that Ayana, the Talaivar, the person who owns the car, he says, he likes this song and he has the entire tape made out of the same song. So 30 times that same song will be there. Now don't ask why. He likes it. That's the song he likes. So he puts it on. Think. So he has created a vasana for that. Just take an example, please. He has created a vasana. Strong impression for that song. You can say, what is wrong with this? This is where the trouble will come. He is going with his wife, going with his daughter or son. Now he puts on that one. Now the son has another vasana. Son likes another song. Wife likes another song. Daughter likes another song. Now what do? This is where fighting begins. No, not that cassette, not that cassette. I don't like 30 times same nonsense, the son will say. Son and daughter, they gang up. The wife cannot say anything. Okay, the wife says, no, okay. Son, no, we are not listening. So the wife also say, whatever children let do. Why? Because she says she doesn't like it, she will be enemy. Okay, what children ask something, do it. Why? She also will be relieved. It's just diplomatic. Just think of it. So the son puts on. Now the son puts on heavy beat. Dum, dum, din, dum, dum. Now the father says, can we stop the car? Because he is headache. This is where the fighting begins in the house. Why? Because what you want, it's not there. Okay? Now, because of your sabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, continuously experiencing and whatever sensation you liked, you have repeated it so heavily that it is in your head, like developing a habit for a bidi, a cigarette, betel nut, drugs, alcohol, a sound, touch, food, sex. Repetition, continuous. That sensation has gone into your system. Okay, why? And the addition, please understand, the bonus is where the devastating, most destructive bonus is, you have equated that sensation with happiness. That is like, it is like a hook which you have completely swallowed. That this is my happiness. My happiness is this song. My happiness is this touch. My happiness depends on this sound. My happiness depends upon this person. It's like two strangers. Think of it, in a marriage. What happens? Totally unknown boy and girl. Totally unknown man and woman. Now they like each other. 20 years, 30 years they lived by themselves. They didn't know anybody. Then they got married. After 2 months, 2 years, what happens? Inseparable. Can't live without him or her. What happens? Yesterday, story, not story, real life incident. Camilla Parker. Who is she? You don't know. Don't have to know. But Prince Charles' second wife. The first wife was the lady's name is? You know, everybody knows, right? Just think, we are not interested in people now. You see the character, situation, D. Yesterday, you should see 2 pieces of news. I think newspaper have nothing else to do except these things. And we are also repeating it because everybody knows about it. Think, 2 news. One is Princess D. See, I don't know if it's true or false, but he is a butler now insisting that he was having an affair with her. And he has told about it when she was alive to his own brother-in-law. But they had kept it secret. Heavy. And she rejected him after she found one Pakistani doctor. Just this is one piece of news. Just think. I'll bring you back to Vasana. Camilla Parker. Now the Prince Charles private secretary. One was retired, one person is retiring. The next one was a lady. She is supposed to be the next. But now she is fired. Why? Because this Camilla Parker doesn't like her being so near Prince Charles. Now imagine, she should also think, when she was near him, how does the other girl must have felt? But does she understand? Does she understand? No. But when another secretary is around, she can't take it. Then why are you hanging around when he was with another woman? Hey, we are not here for remove the persons now. Situation you see, the woman or a man is jealous that she is talking to somebody. But himself talking to another person, oh, that's all right. He is talking to somebody. What about you talking to somebody? Just think of that situation. What do we do? This is impression. I am so talkative, I don't feel that I am talking. But when others are talking, I can very well feel it. Are you getting that? I am very talkative. Continuously I am talking nonsense, but I don't recognize it. When other people talk, I don't know why that fellow is talking like that. Oh. You know the sieve, you know? Sieving, where you do that, the hundreds of holes in that. In original language they say, the sieve says the needle has a hole on the back. The sieve is very much criticizing, the sieve is very critical that the needle has a hole. The needle has a hole for the thread to go. The sieve says needle has a hole, you know. That itself is full of holes, the sieve will not recognize. This is the power of the impression, which completely blinds you to your own flaws. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, okay, smelling, experiencing everything, strong impressions about everything. Vasana. And everybody wants to create a world according to his thoughts or her thoughts. That is why 2 different people, when they have conflict of interest, means what? Conflict of interest is conflict of vasanas. Conflict of interest. Because I have this picture of in my head, you have that picture in your head. Now how do you handle? Two different pictures. Now as even you have got a conflicting picture. Are you getting that? A conflicting picture between yourself and the other person. Now see the conflict. Previously I was thinking my happiness depends on sensations, and sensations are very strong. Will you like to be just happy with yourself, or you want to have a sensation of the body? Come on, be honest. Which one is more attractive? Which one is more attractive? The sensation of the tongue, rasgulla, laddu, chocolate. Sensation of the tongue. Smell of the flowers. With happiness is a bland thing. You get the same happiness out of sound, you get same thing. Touch, you get the same thing. Sound, touch, taste, smell, sight, everything leads you there. That is yourself. But the sensation of sound, the sensation of touch, the sensation of taste, the sensation of sight, the sensation of smell are so strong. Understand? That is, sometimes for a food, taste of a food, for that particular food, you can go to any extent. You can go to any extent. Food for the sense organ, no? Food for the sense organ. For a sound, sound system, $100,000. Get it, because you are a rich man. $100,000. Touch. You want to touch somebody. You want to touch somebody. A face that launched 1,000 ships. Helen of Troy. Sita, Padmini. Ravana was smitten. Alauddin Khilji was destroyed. Paris was destroyed. Helen of Troy. It doesn't matter, the kingdoms are destroyed. It doesn't matter, thousands of subjects are sacrificed in the war. Ravana wants Sita. Is mythology? Huh? Today, hundreds of things are happening like that. You want that man or woman, to any extent you shall go. Any extent you shall go. You look at these so-called celebrity marriages. Just look at it. Yesterday, the Formula 1 car president from Italy, Formula 1 president, one very, very richest man, 58-year-old only, got married to 28-year-old model. And who had come? Italian Prime Minister, all top guys had come. 58-year-old man is marrying 20. How much he should pay? He should pay for it? Any amount. Then don't say it is good or bad. We are not here. I am not talking about that. That's this list of our problem. 58-year-old. Think. You can go to any length. You shall sacrifice everything. A king. There was an abdicated the throne for the sake of the person he loved in London. Just it's a history, it's a 50, 60 years history, not even 5,000, 20,000 years. I don't want the throne, I want the girl. A woman sacrifices, a man sacrifices. Why? That sensation. Are you getting that, please? So don't think only Ravanas are Ravanas. No, you are also a miniature Ravana. Everybody is a miniature Rakshas. In a sense, because what somebody goes for doesn't matter. That you go for something at the price of yours, at the cost of yourself, That is the point. Point is not what Ravana went for or what Krishna went for or what Hari went for or Hitler went for. Forget it. The fact is, you sacrifice yourself for the sake of something. So this is what it is. Jnate vastuni. However you may know yourself, you sacrifice that knowledge for the memory of a sensation. You forget. I know I should not be angry, but that man must be taught a lesson, Then why are you trembling? Why don't you be angry? Why anger is overtaking you? You want to punish somebody, no? Then why are you punishing yourself in the beginning? You want to punish, you will punish. But you stop punishing yourself first. Are you getting that point, please? I don't want that man to enjoy this thing. He should be deprived of this. He should not be given those things. Do you know what do you mean by that? Long before that person is, listen carefully, long before that person should be denied of that, now don't you think you should say, I should be questioning myself, what am I doing? This thought that he should be denied, torturing me so much, I want this thought to go only when the person is denied. So my happiness depends upon his being denied that object. Now will you ever be happy in life? Why? If that seed is in you, today it is that person, tomorrow it will be somebody else. That is why even if you satisfy the need of an idiot, you become a victim for the rest of your life. I love my wife, I love my husband, I love my friend, I love my guru, I love my dog, I love my God. Therefore, I am doing it for love's sake. Love's sake? By chance you do it, if the other person is crazy, the fellow will go on changing and you go on fighting. Are you getting that point? Because today, say, Swamiji, that fellow told me like that, now, okay, throw him out. That fellow told me, now that also throw you out. Now who should you throw now? Are you getting that point? If the person is continuously, because he has a disease. Look, simple example, your stomach is stupid. You ate potato, stomach upset, potato burned in the kitchen. You eat banana, your stomach is upset, banana is burned in the kitchen. You eat pirganga, your stomach is upset, that is also banned. Jackfruit, stomach upset, jackfruit also is banned. Now when so many things are getting banned, don't you think it is time you check your stomach? Because slowly, when everything is banned, there will be nothing in the kitchen. Why? The king's stomach is upset. The king's stomach is upset, therefore the whole world is starving now. Why? Nothing should come into kitchen. Just like that, people are also vegetables. That person should not be here, that person should not be here, that person should not be here. Then, now, what do? There is nobody. Oh, I see, that's very good. This is vasana. For your sensation, that continuous repetition of that sensation, Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and also it can be, listen, it's not necessarily a sensation of sound, touch, taste, smell. Also a sensation of flattery. Somebody flattering you all the time. What is flattery? Flattery is telling you what you like to listen and not what the truth is. Flattery is telling you about something which you like to listen. So telling lies. So if you fall in love with the lie, who can tell you the truth? Just think. If you fall in love with the lies, who can tell you the truth? Nobody can tell you the truth. Because the moment they tell you the truth, you will throw them out. So nobody will tell you the truth anymore. Understand? Please understand. See that for the long period of time, anadivasana, anadi, not only in this life but also so many other lives, strong impressions are there. Vasana. Anadivasana. It is there. Okay. And what does he do? Look at the biggest one. Karta bhokta hamiti drudha. Yosya sansara hetuhu. He has fallen in love with himself as what? Aham karta, aham bhokta. I am the experiencer. I am the doer. I enjoy life. This falling in love with the ahankar. Are you getting that? Falling in love with the ahankar. Ahankara falling in love with the vasana is one thing. Ahankara falling in love with itself. Oh, very, very dangerous. I falling in love with a sensation. Maybe when other sensation comes, I can get rid of this sensation. Are you getting that? The complexity. I like a sound, but suppose touch is more interesting, sound is forgotten. Taste is more interesting, touch is forgotten. Smell is more interesting, taste is forgotten. But when I am in love with myself, why? Well, I am the king, I am in love with myself. I can sacrifice a sound for a touch, touch for a taste, taste for a smell, but I cannot sacrifice myself for anything. This is why ahankara, ego, becomes so powerful. Because it shall sacrifice everything for itself, but it will not sacrifice itself for anything. That is why you don't mind sacrificing your father, your mother, your husband, your wife, your child, your gods, your gurus, your faiths, your anything for your sake. There is nothing which the individuality cannot sacrifice. Are you getting that point, please? There is nothing which individuality cannot sacrifice for itself. That is why you see the massive war, not battle. Huge. Because you can sacrifice anything and anybody. Right or wrong? Think. Or you are desperately want to win over somebody, again for yourself. Understand? Are you getting that point? You are desperately trying to, there is no such thing which you cannot give up for your comfort. Also, for your comfort, you can go to any extent. Not only sacrifice, but also holding on to somebody. Because holding on to somebody or something is my happiness. Therefore, at every cost, I shall hold on to him or her, or hold on to something or other. Or, for my sake, anything can be given up. Nothing is worth it. Give it. But give up yourself? Most difficult. That is why in Upanishads, very beautifully it comes in Mahabharata. Very beautiful statement. Tyaja dharmam adharmam cha ubhe satyanrute tyaja ubhe satyanrute tyaktva yena tyajasi tatyeja. This is a statement, amazing statement. Tyaja. Tyaja means give up. Give up what? Dharmam adharmam. Both the pairs of opposites, right and wrong. Give up both right and wrong. Tyaja dharmam adharmam cha. Give up right and wrong. Because sometimes right is wrong, wrong is right. You don't know which one is right. Right is wrong is right. Ubhe satya anrute tyaja. Ubhe satya anruta. Anruta is falsehood. Satya is truth. Satya anruta. Satya anrute tyaja. Give up both Satya and Anruta. That is right, false and true and false. Both give up. Ubhe Satya Anrute Tyaktva. Having given up the falsehood and the truth. Then the last line, underline. Yena tyajasi tat tyaja. That is the line. That is the quarter. Very powerful line. Yena tyajasi tat tyaja. Give up that. Tat tyaja. Give up that by which you are giving up everything. Okay. So give up right, give up wrong. Okay? Very beautiful sentence. Give up right, give up wrong. Every poet fellow will like it. Best philosophy, giving up right and wrong. Alright, ask the fool. For whose sake this right and wrong comes? Can there is a thing right and wrong by itself or only in the presence of the individuality? Which side is this? Left or right? Huh? Because there is no side. Depends on the you. So right and wrong, false or truth, depends on the standpoint of the individual. So can you give up the right and wrong, the pairs of opposites, without giving yourself up? As long as you are there, your sides will exist. Definite angles will exist. That is why you can give up anybody, anything. As long as you are there, your problems are complete. They're looking at you all the time. Because you are there, no? You can give up the banana and potato and all the vegetable chili from the kitchen, but your stomach is still bothering you. Any number of people can disappear from around you, but still you are miserable. Why? Because you are such an useless fellow. Always fighting inside. So, so give up that by which you are giving it up. So, aham karta, aham bhokta. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. That is the aphrodisiac. That is the intoxicant. That is the drug by which everybody is drugged. I am the karta bhokta. I am the enjoyer, I am the doer. Karta bhokta. I am the enjoyer, I am the doer. Karta bhokta ahamiti yasya samsara hetu. That is the samsara hetu. That is the cause of the samsara. What causes samsara? Clearly understand. Samsara is not samsara unless I suffer. Right or wrong? Prison is not a prison unless I feel imprisoned. Right or wrong? Suffering is not a suffering unless I feel affected, miserable. Humiliation is not a humiliation if I don't feel humiliated. Suppose somebody, hey idiot, you come here. One man feels very humiliated. How can you say I'm an idiot? How can you see that language? Other fellow says, how does it matter? Let him say. Are you an idiot? No. Then why are you dragging it to yourself? Same statement. Think of that. Humiliation is not humiliation unless you feel humiliated. Poverty is not a poverty. Poverty is not poverty if you don't feel poor. Suppose you are a happy man. For you, poverty is a great blessing. Why? Nothing to take care, Already happy and nothing to worry. That is why most people, simple living, high thinking. Very great ideal, high thinking, happy with myself, simple living, simplest of the needs. That fellow will have no burden on his head. But suppose you are high living, high thinking. High thinking, yes, great, very good. But high living means you have to organize. Of course, you have the power to live with it. That is why it makes you high thinking, high living. It's like a Rajarshi, no problem. But between the two, there will be many who shall choose simple living. Why? Boy, who wants to take responsibility? Not that I cannot take, but it's okay. Simple. I don't want to take that responsibility. Understand? So when you see yourself very clearly, none of these things matter anymore. Understand? Right, wrong, good, bad. These considerations don't exist. Why? Because who is the responsible? I. So, yena tyajasi, that by which you are giving up, may you give up. Now, this ahankar wants to, listen, the ahankar wants to give up the vasanas. This is where comes your big trap. Because when you say, give up the vasanas, now vasana is a problem, or my dragging the vasana to myself is a problem. Think. What is the problem? Are you getting that point? This is most important. You must see it. What is the problem? Gold is a problem, or my becoming greedy for the gold is a problem. That an object is a problem, or I feel attracted by or distracted by it is a problem. That there is a thought is a problem, that there is impression is a problem, or I have made that impression my problem. So which one I should get rid of? Vasana or the I? If you are busy removing your vasana, you know what will happen? You will never succeed. Impressions are not for you to remove. Listen carefully. Because so many misconceptions about this. Impressions are not there for you to remove. Impressions are there for you to use or not to use. If you have to remove the vasanas, what will happen? Ask yourself question. Who created the vasana? You. You remove the vasana. Will you stop creating it? Are you getting that point, please? You created a habit, or a habit got into you. You get rid of one habit, you get into another habit. You get rid of one emotion, you get into another emotion. What do people do? They get rid of one thing and they get rid of another thing. That is why aham, I thought. That is one has to be understood very, very clearly, please. Karta bhoktamiti. So, that is why pratyak drushtya atmani nivasata. Pratyak drushtya atmani nivasata. Savasana prayatnat apaneya. Pratyak drushtya atmani nivasata. Knowing, abiding in one's own self as pratyak drushtya, that I am the self, the awareness, pratyek atma. That you understanding the nature of this I, who I am. Then you counteract the vasana. Are you getting that point, please? You don't take that line. You don't dismiss the vasana. You counteract the vasana. Nullify. You don't kill the snake. Remove the fang. You don't take away the sugar. Take away the substance which causes the diabetic. Have you not seen in our generation today? Sugarless sugar. Cheeseless cheese. You see that? Caffeine-free coffee. Caffeine-free coffee. Meaning that which is dangerous element, that one you remove it. That one you remove. Other things continues. I will eat sugar, sweet, but I will not be diabetic. I will eat all the fatty food, tasty food, but it will not make me fat. I'll drink all the coffee, but it will not create caffeine. That is the urge for this. I will enjoy everything, but I will not get cut by the enjoyment. And what is that element which catches you? Individuality gets cut. So, counteracting. Are you getting that? Counteracting the vasanas. Counteracting vasana means what? The thought does not pull me anymore. Why? I am not there. Not that thought is not there. Are you getting that? Thought does not pull me. When I say that, thought does not pull me. Therefore, when you say thought doesn't pull me, what does it mean? Thought is there, but I don't get pulled. But if you say thought should not be there, what is the guarantee? You will not be pulled by some other thought, some other time. But no, thought should not be there. Then you will be always afraid of arrival of a thought, the possibility of arrival of a thought. Are you getting that? If absence of a thought makes you happy, then you shall be afraid of every possibility of arrival of a thought. And can you function without the arrival of a thought? You cannot. Therefore miserable. Are you getting that? So all the time you must be conscious. You counteract the thought. Just like the snake was dangerous because it had a fang. That poisonous teeth, Vishadanta, poisonous tooth. If you remove that Visha, the poisonous tooth, same snake, but you are not afraid. Like the snake charmer. He takes 4 snakes and plays around it. Why? He has removed the fang of everybody. So, woof, they do that. It's very exciting for children. But children don't know that the tooth has gone. This fellow is playing with everybody. He has removed the fangs. So, no problem. Think. Exactly same way. So, what is the fang in the thought? Think. What is that is so attractive in the object? Imposition of happiness in the object is the Visha, is the poison. Now, when you see happiness in yourself, what happens to the object? It's just an object. You use it, but no more you are stuck on it. Nobody tells you to remove the object, nor must you remove the thought. Are you getting that point, please? Object is not a problem. Thought is not a problem. My seeing the happiness in the object is the problem. When I see happiness in myself, who I am, which object is a problem? Which thought is a problem? And when I am the happiness, I am also not a problem. When I am unhappy, then I become a problem. Are you getting that problem? Are you getting that? So when I see myself, there is no problem. So Atmani Nivasata. Thus when you are totally abiding in yourself, Muktir Prahutadiha Munayah. Munayah Mukti Tadiha Prahu. They say this is Mukti, this is liberation. What is that? Vasana Tanavam Yat. Vasana Tanavam. When the Vasana Tanavam means when the Vasana is lessened. Tanu, fat is big, Pruthula, big. Tanava, Tanu, meaning thinned. When Vasana is thinned, listen carefully, that statement you must say. So when the Vasana is thinned, or the Vasana is negated, or Vasana is reduced, or Vasana is finished, we call it as freedom. Now understand, desire is finished or desirer is gone? Vasana is finished or the person who was creating the Vasana is gone? Are you getting it? This is where comes the biggest problem in life. When people think of Vasana Akshaya, everybody busy removing the Vasana impressions. That is why people say, Swamiji, I have been listening but still my coffee Vasana is very strong. I don't think I will understand it. I think my Rasgulla Vasana is so strong. I think my Vadai Vasana is so strong. Early morning coffee, Vadai. If I don't have the brown bread, Very strong vasana. If I don't have the pizza, olive oil, very, very strong. I don't have fish, oh God. What do? Why so many strong vasana? I don't think this knowledge is for me. Who is talking? Are you getting that point? Very strong. You don't remove the... Understand? This is like a Lakshana Vakya. But somebody will misinterpret as what? So remove your vasanas. When the vasanas are gone, you are absolutely free. So if your freedom depends on the absence of vasana, imagine when the presence again comes up. Memories can come back, no. And new impressions new sensations can you avoid? You cannot avoid new sensation. That is after 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, suddenly you discover you have desire for something which you never thought you had. How does it happen? Comes up. So who creates it? Please observe very clearly. That is known as the going to the root of the problem. Going to the root. Anywhere, friends. I had asked you to, suppose, hey, water the plant. When you say water the plant, should you give it to the root or should you throw it on the leaves here? Huh? Suppose you threw water on the leaves of these plants here, will they get it? You put it on the, right, on the root. Somebody is pouring the food on you, will you be healthy? Somebody is pouring the food on you, will you be healthy? No, through your mouth it must go to the stomach. That little that goes to the stomach will bless you. The millions of tons which is poured on you will bury you. You are inundated by information. That will not give you wisdom. A thought which goes into your head blesses you or curses you. Depends on how you use it. That was a wrong thought. A thought that goes into you. How much you assimilate? Think for yourself. You want to sustain yourself, what are the root? And what is your root? Consciousness, being yourself. Lucky, maintenance free. No water is needed to be given. Just being yourself is the ultimate freedom. Thereafter, these vasanas automatically counteracted. Because I am happy with myself. So which thought is a problem? For whom? You understand that question? Even I am happy with myself, which thought is a problem? For whom? I am not there. I am happy with myself. So which thought is a problem? You can use, which thought you can use? Any thought. Why? I assume a role. Depending on whichever thought is good, I use it. If it is not to be expressed, I don't express it. Are you getting that point? If it has to express, express. Not to be expressed, not to express. Solid freedom in relation to everything in your life. Okay? We shall see more of it, and it's a very, very thing, wonderful thing. Please think it over, and I want a note on this subject. Okay? Because more things will come, but first you think it over nicely. Not today, note. You can give 2, 3 days, 4 days after also, but it is vasana. These courses will continue next verses. Another 5, 6 verses will be on this line. But today, what to explain, please think over it. Okay? Now, just close your eyes, please. Chant these 10 verses today, okay? We'll all chant it nicely. Page 254 onwards, please read. Jati niti kula gotra duragam नामरूपगुणदोषवर्जितम् देशकालविषयातिवर्तीयते ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यत्परं सकलभागगोचरम् गोचरं विमलबोधचक्षुषः शुद्धचिद्घनमनादिवस्तु यत् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि षड्भिरुर्मिभिरयोगियोगिरुते भावितं न करणैर्विभावितम् बुद्ध्यवेद्यमनवद्यमस्ति यत् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि भ्रान्तिकल्पितजगत्कलाश्रयम् स्वाश्रयं च सदसद्विलक्षणम् निष्कलं निरुपमानवद्धियते ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जन्मवृद्धिपरिणत्यपक्षय व्याधिनाशनविहीनमव्ययम् विश्वसृष्ट्यवविघातकारणम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि अस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यत् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरनिराश्यकारणम् कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयं ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि निर्विकल्पकमनल्पमक्षरम् यत्क्षराक्षरविलक्षणं परम् नित्यमव्ययसुखं निरञ्जनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यद्विभाति सदनेकधा भ्रमात् नामरूपगुणविक्रियात्मना हेमवत् स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यच्च कास्त्यनपरं परात्परम् प्रत्यगेकरसमात्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि uktamarthamimamaatmani swayam bhavayet prathita yuktivir sansayadirahitam karambhuvat tena tattva nigamo bhavishyati. Tena tattva nigamo bhavishyati. Close your eyes, please. Thank you, friend.